That's my song every week. But today, I'm a little congested, so I don't sound as good as I normally do. Try it again. Today is Tuesday, my favorite day of the week. I love Tuesdays because I always get the chance to come on here and communicate with so many amazing guests. And today we're going to do that as we always do. But let's remind you guys where we were the last time we were here. So last week we took a break, had a family emergency, wasn't able to be on. But prior to that, we closed out Women's History Month with a bang. It was a super, super phenomenal ending to Women's History Month. We reminded ourselves of all the amazing and beautiful women that I always constantly come into contact with, and all of those women that we don't see normally. People that are not normally highlighted and people who don't get enough praise as they should. So Women's History Month was a blast. Being able to highlight such phenomenal women within our community present day instead of past tense was super phenomenal for me, because I think that we always focus on the past, women who have done so much in the past, which is also amazing. But I think that there's so many women today who are so empowered and are doing such amazing and great things now. So it was so much fun to highlight those people. A few of those women are going to be on the show tonight. So today is audience choice. So we didn't choose a certain topic for tonight. What we did was find two super, super fabulous women who are awesome audience members who normally aren't here on the weekdays, watching every week. They're constantly giving comments, constantly celebrating what we do. So we're going to talk about these two amazing women tonight. One of them is going to help me co-host the show because she's awesome. She's been here before. And the other one, we're giving her own spotlight because she is doing big and amazing things. So before we get into that, let's remind folks while we're here, if you feel as though you or someone that you know is dealing with any sort of domestic violence, whether it be in their home, whether it's a friend, whether it's a family member, or someone that you work with and you feel as though is going through something, remember to contact the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233. You can reach us as well at loveshouldnothurt.com or any of our social media platforms. So, mujeres. I always love to talk to the men and to the women, but I'm a woman, so I'm a little biased. Before we bring on our co-host tonight, I have a video for all of you because today is Tuesday, second day of the week. Mondays are difficult, Tuesdays are difficult, and let's be honest, a work week is just difficult at all times, especially for all those mamas out there who just don't hear that they are beautiful enough. I think that that's something that we need to do in our society, even with men. They're handsome, they're gorgeous. I am very affectionate. I love to show affection, and I love to tell people honestly all the time, you beautiful girl, you're special, you're amazing. But I like to tell the men as well, you're gorgeous. Put your big smile on your face, because I think that when you give off positive energy, that's what you receive so in return. So before we start the show, we get into our guests and we get into what we do. I have an amazing, amazing video to highlight all you women, to remind you that you are beautiful. Let's play that video.
3 years ago, when I was in high school, I made a video in which I told my classmates that they were beautiful. This video made a huge impact. I then realized the power of a compliment, so I decided to do it again. So if women believe that being beautiful is such an important thing, but don't actually think they're beautiful themselves, there's a huge problem here that we're not talking about. Today, we told women we were doing a general survey, but then we surprised them. So what's it like being beautiful? What? Oh my God.
Oh, wait.
Oh wow, thanks. Wow.
She really got to me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, I never thought of myself as beautiful.
We saw you two talking and you just looked so beautiful together.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, wow. I don't really think of myself like that.
What do you find the most beautiful part about yourself?
About myself? Physically?
Anything.
I'd say my heart.
My heart.
I would say my personality, because I'm open and
honest about everything.
I do get told I have a nice smile, so that's one of those things that kind of, boost your confidence a little bit.
I can't remember the last time I got a compliment from a stranger.
Earlier on the train, she told me she liked my sneakers.
I would say it was quite a while ago.
Yesterday at the airport, but she said I looked really beautiful and my baby bump was so cute. So I don't know if it was more of a pregnancy compliment or a...
How did it make you feel?
Oh, made me feel awesome because I'm not feeling so beautiful lately.
I'd say sometimes to someone that I see walking, if they have like a color hair that I like or just something that I like, I tell them I like it. And they tell me, oh, you made my day.
If somebody give me a comment, I'm automatically like, oh my God, that was nice. Like, even if it's the littlest things, because a lot of people go through things, so the littlest compliment means a lot.
Life can be pretty trying sometimes, and it's awfully nice to get a compliment. It can just make your day.
I'm tagging two of my very beautiful women tonight who will be on screen with me. The first beauty that's coming on screen is our co-host for this evening, Gigi. A lot of people know her as Jermaine or Gigi. Either way, she's a beautiful and phenomenal human being that I had the honor of meeting this year at our 5K. She came, she ran, she did it, and she's been nothing but a super awesome audience member since then. When she watches, she always has something amazing to say to our guests. She always has positivity whenever we speak. So tonight we're going to bring Gigi on so that she can show you guys why I think she's so beautiful. Gigi, welcome to our show.
Hello, everyone. How are you?
Good. How are you feeling tonight? I
feel wonderful. I feel so honored and so blessed to be in tonight's show and to be a co-host with all of you guys tonight. And honestly, I look forward to a very positive and amazing show tonight. So let's do this. Let's go.
That's right. Good. See, I love that. So tonight's topic is express yourself. So we're going to do a whole lot of that tonight. We're going to let our guest who's coming on express herself in a lot of different ways. We're going to learn about who she is, why she wrote her book. But I want you also, Gigi, to be able to express yourself. Tonight it is about our audience, and you have been a phenomenal audience member. So I just want people to know who my guests are, who my co-host is, and why she's such a bright light. Why I just think, whenever you're around, there's just positivity. And, you may not hear that often, but you are a very bright light, Gigi. And it's been amazing getting to know you. So I'm super excited that you're sitting here tonight. So before we get into Gigi and talk about her, let's show that photo from the day that I met her at our race this year. Hey!
That was amazing. That was the best day ever. Oh my God. I will never forget that day. That was the best day. It changed my life. It really did.
Well, tell us a little bit about let's hear what you have to say. Tell us a little bit about that day and how you got here and how you felt walking away.
Oh man. Okay. So how that walk came about was my good friend Jasmine De Jesus. I actually met her through this amazing marketing company called Monet. And she actually introduced me to the domestic violence awareness and stuff like that. And she knew a little bit about my background and what I went through regarding my domestic partnership and stuff like that. She asked me, she said, listen, this is your opportunity. What do you think? And I said, let's go, let's do this. I'm all for it. And I'm ready to, do this walk to actually walk away for the rest of my life, to have a better life and just mentally, physically and emotionally. I felt like it really, it was more of an emotional thing than anything for me, emotional, domestic for me. But just me doing the walk and everything like that, it just made me feel so good because I felt like all those years, that I went through, I walked away with all of that pain. All that pain it just went away. It was gone. It was completely gone. I felt good because every time I went, I just circled around. I just felt stronger and stronger every time. And I said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to finish, because if I finish, this is like, it felt like, okay, now I'm powerful. This is my life. I'm going to tell myself what I can do and what I'm going to do. And that's it. I'm going to leave everything behind. And after once I hit that finish line, that was it for me. And I just had to right away come to you. And I said, I needed to give Christina a hug because I did it. if she can do it, I can do it, and anybody can do it, whatever they're going through as far as domestic violence or domestic, partnership, whatever they're going through those hard times. That walk really, really changed my life. And I know for sure it can change a lot of other people's lives. It's not only women that go through it, men go through it as well. So it just is a very, peaceful, position that you can be in just to be at peace, and just in your mental state of mind. And, so I felt really good. And I thank you so much. I thank Jasmine for that opportunity. And I still got my medal, by the way.
That's how you have to keep it. Because we're going to do it every year, so you got to keep collecting your medals.
Absolutely.
The funny thing about that walk is one of my counterparts for Love Shouldn't Hurt, Jackie Rodriguez, she's the reason why I started talking about domestic violence in general, just, back then. I kept my story a secret for a long time, but her and I have known each other since middle school. And she actually, my first walk or 5K ever was also a domestic violence walk. And it was funny because when I was going to her, it was to get products for Herbalife back then. And it was starting I was already into gym and working out and things like that, but I wanted to get back into healthier eating, healthier habits. And she was like, well, since you're here and we're working on healthy habits, there's a 5K coming up. And I was like, slow down, sis. Started this again. I don't know if I could do a walk or a run. I can't run. And she's like, it's not about winning the race. Yeah. It's just about going and feeling empowered. And I was like, we'll see. And she's like, it's a domestic violence walk. And she's very figurative. She likes to give you examples and stuff like that. So what you just said is pretty much how she said I would feel. And she said, you could never take back the abuse. You could never take back what's happened to you. But I assure you that when you cross that finish line, you're going to feel so empowered.
Absolutely.
Take all your feelings back. And I was like, esta muchacha está loca. I was like, so we got our shirts and we matched with our purple socks and we were excited and we went. And literally, if you watch the show, I cry all the time. Right?
Absolutely.
I literally did this 5K. My girl could run, but she waited for me and she ran slow with me and she helped me run across that finish line. And let me tell you how empowered I felt when I hit that finish line. Once I crossed it, and I saw that crowd of survivors, and I saw all the purple in the crowd, and I saw hundreds of women clapping for me. I felt so empowered at that moment. I felt the same way, dag, all those years of abuse, I felt just kind of lifted off of me.
Yeah.
It's just it's crazy, but that's exactly how I feel. So I'm so happy that that's what you say you felt.
But what's the best part about all of it? I'm so sorry to cut you off, but the best part about the 5K walk, and I'm so happy that, you begin to do that for the whole community. That is the best. But the best part really is the women and just the people that you meet and you come across and you're like, wow, you went through this, you went through that. And people were asking me you went through that? Gigi, you're such a happy, outgoing person and you're always there for everybody. And for years, you always kept a smile on your face and you're there for your children and you just do this and you do makeup and you do special effects. And I'm like, that's, I was so I was happy, but then I was unhappy. So I'm not going to say that I had, I always had unhappy moments. I had happy moments, but it was more bad than good. So a lot of people were saying, wow, I would have never imagined that you went through abuse, it was physical, it was verbally, mentally, but I'm going to be honest. I know people might think you think emotionally is, more effective than physically. I have to say yes. And I'm going to say and again, tonight's show is about expressing yourself, right? So I'm expressing myself as far as it hurt me emotionally because, there were times that, I saw other couples doing beautiful things and family things, and they're going out to, picnics and going out to Disney World and going out to here and I'm like, I want to do these things. Yeah. I want to do these things. And I've tried so hard, to do this and do that. And throughout that whole time, it was a lot of commotion, a lot of things that were going back and forth and stuff like that. And your goal is just to be a good wife. I was never a wife. I was
But you
always
played the role.
right. I played that role. And a part of me was like, there were times, and I think that's where like the fights and the arguments were, because I'm playing a wife, but I'm not a wife. Why? I'm not understanding. So, I have, 2 kids, with this person, and, this person's can be great, but then he gets bad at the same time. And then again, I'm not going to sit here and say I was never bad, because it wouldn't even make any sense if I say I was a perfect woman, because I have my bad days. I would be just so angry, like that Puerto Rican, like me, I got a hold, get out of my face. I don't give, like, I don't care, but it's just, there were times that remember what I said on the last show that we were on, hurt people hurt people.
Absolutely.
I was so hurt that I was hurting people. I was hurting my friends. I was hurting my family because I was so hurt. Why? Because I was holding all of that pain inside. I was holding a lot of pain that I couldn't let out, because this whole time I wanted this happy family, and I didn't want this man to look bad, because all of the things that he was doing to me behind doors. Now, once I open that door and we walk out that door, I have to make sure this man looks good, and I have to look good too.
Right.
I have to make sure that I don't, he don't put my hands on me, so I won't get a bruise on me, and I won't have to show it out there. Or other than that, it goes vice versa. If I don't bruise him, because again, I wasn't always a good person. It was a physical thing, back and forth, and it's bad. It was really bad. And, if I can, rewind everything, I wish I could, but I can't, because that's just how it is. And, God sometimes puts you in a place that, where I'm at right now, I feel like my purpose is, to help other women, to be by your side, Christina, and, to help you through things. Cause, you may have a bad day one day, and I want to be there for you. And I want to be that shoulder for you to cry on. And I need your shoulder to cry on, and probably other women and stuff like that, and also my daughters. I have 4 daughters. I feel like that was the most painfulest part ever, because I lost the relationship with my 2 oldest daughters. As much as I tried in the relationship to keep us as a family, to, like I said, go to Disney World. My daughters love going to Disney World, before I met him. So, it was a very difficult situation. So yeah. I felt like I was a bad mother because I chose a man over my kids. And
I think we all
yeah.
have those times, and my daughter's almost 14, and I have a lot of those times. But I think it's a testament to who we are that we walk away, because none of us are perfect, and in these situations, it's not easy to keep your mouth closed. So we all are guilty of the same. So I myself battle with, was it my fault? Did I do this? Did I do that? But none of us are perfect. But we're going to have a moment to talk about all of us and all of our pain, because I want to talk together as a group. But you gave me a great segue, because what we go through is what helps us get through. And we have to find ways to make life easier or better for people around us. And we have to be able to inspire. So Gigi, who is our guest? Who is joining us? Because she just put a book together of poetry that actually is helping inspire, help grow other people. So Gigi, who's our guest about to join us?
Tonight for our guest, we have Carmen. So we are going to welcome her tonight on our show. And Carmen, come right in with us and join us on this amazing show tonight. Where are you?
Hi, Carmen.
Hi, everyone. Good evening.
Good. You nervous? You got to shake. Get it out. How you feeling tonight, babe?
I'm feeling good. A little nervous, but good.
That's okay. Well, listen, tonight's show is all about our audience. And Carmen is here faithfully every Tuesday. And she's in that comment section, and she's giving people praise and constantly telling our guests how great they are. But Miss Carmen, tonight, since you joined us on Express Yourself, we are giving you the opportunity to be praised tonight, because not only are you just a phenomenal woman and human being, but you just put out a book that's going to help plenty other women uplift themselves and feel good. So tell us about your book, Carmen. Tell us about why you were inspired to write this poetry book, and tell us the thought process behind some of your poems.
Sure. So my book is called A Butterfly's Love. What one can't imagine can happen. And it was a very tedious journey, because at first I was very hesitant to even type my poetry. Like I didn't mind writing it out on my journal, and writing I was okay with. But then I knew during the pandemic, I said, you know what? I want people to hear this is my expression right here. Everything that I had in my heart is here, most of the poetry, and I didn't want to keep it in anymore. I said, you know what? I have to get this book out there. And I had help, I had support. And I finally decided, I did my research, publishing company, how much I had to save up for this. And I finally did it. And March 30th, my book was published. It was released.
Yay.
Awesome. Look at that. A Butterfly's Love.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Available at barnesandnoble.com and Amazon. If you guys want to read it and purchase it, that is the book. You will see Carmen's face right on the back because I have a copy. Get it? It's awesome. I am huge on empowering other women and supporting other women. And I think that this is an awesome thing. I think that, first of all, it's phenomenal that during a pandemic, you decided to sit down and just put your thoughts down on paper, because it's hard enough to do, right? Like, I was in a book and all I was chapter 1, and those, like, it ended up being, I think, 6 pages. Those 6 pages were difficult enough to sit and put on paper, because I was like, anybody gonna want to read this? Anybody gonna care? And then once you do it, it's like super empowering. And being able to put this entire book together and pour out your feelings, I mean, kudos to you for doing so, especially during this time. You used your time of being home on quarantine wisely, and I think that it was super phenomenal. So if you are out there and you are watching, go to Amazon, order the book.
Yes, purchase that thing.
Yes, poetry. If you love poetry, and it's the type of poetry that it's not like, let me make sure every sentence rhymes. Let me make sure everything is. It is poetry that you feel. When you're reading it, you can get into it because you're passionate about it. So what was the story behind it? Like, there's a lot of like love and a lot of sad. There's a lot of different things. So were there parts of your life? What were the reasons why you wrote this? Like, what's in it? And you said it's part of you. What parts of you?
Yeah. So the first part is about experiencing love. So I never experienced love before. Growing up, I was a tomboy. Sports was my life, At age 19, I got married because I got pregnant. So I was forced to marry. And from that union came 5 sons. So I didn't have, my youth was just snatched from me, basically. So I didn't have a lot of experience. And I was in bondage. I was more like a slave than a wife, if that makes sense.
I feel that way.
Yes. And I couldn't do anything. I couldn't be me. I wasn't accepted for just me. So I had to be what he wanted, what everybody else wanted. I had to put a facade on, the mask on, and I just cried behind closed doors, and came a time where I just became so cold. But my book, I finally found a great man who treats me like a queen.
Awesome.
I mean, it's amazing because I've never experienced this before. I was always looked down at. I was never praised. I was never told that I'm beautiful. I was never, different things that I'm experiencing now. I was just like the opening up the program, I was like, wow, that's me. Because I was never, told that I was beautiful prior to meeting him. And all of my emotions, all of my feelings, I said, oh my goodness, I'm going to write this down. So the first half is experiencing that love, being in love for the first time. As a grown woman, it was embarrassing, but that's when I experienced it. I'm 41 years old and I'm experiencing love, And the second half is poems that I've written to my sons. I have 5 sons, and I mean, they are my life. As a mother, they witnessed a lot, they've seen a lot, and yeah. So, but in spite of, I wanted to share with them, extend to them my emotions, my feelings that I have for them, through paper as well. And then, towards my sisters, my family. And then I wanted to close it out with what I was going through. and how I got out of it. 18 years of this, and then how I managed to get out of it. There was a point in my life where I didn't want to be here anymore. I wanted to die. I wanted to kill myself because I just couldn't take it anymore. Um, so, but I'm here today, and I wrote the struggles down. I wrote the winning, the victorious moments down as well. And it was hard for me when I was expressing it, like when I was writing it down, and then when I was typing, it was very emotional for me because one can forgive, but you never forget. So it's always in my head, what I went through, or the bondage that I experienced, and wondering, is today my last day? Am I going to be, killed today? So yeah.
Absolutely. So I am super big on like reading books and like highlighting.
Yes.
So I have something I highlighted. I highlighted a bunch, but I'm gonna go through one of them. I felt like this kind of resonated with what I do every week and what I do in general and kind of what I live. So every time something touches me, I'm like highlight. So in your one poem, it's called Attacked. You wrote, I smile for fear of disappointment. I smile for lack of control. I don't want anyone to know that this pain is too much to carry on my own. I try to keep myself busy as best as I can so as to not think about the chaos at hand.
Mm.
I resonate with that. And I feel like what Gigi was saying earlier, she resonates with that as well. You smile to kind of make people think that this persona is who you are and you're going through good times. During my time of domestic violence, no one would know that I was going through it if they were around me personally, because yes, there were signs, but I tried my best to continue to be goofy, still laugh. I would go to work, and I was a social worker at the time, and I had to counsel my students, and I had to act like everything was cool, and I had to tell these kids constantly, you look good, girl, because listen, this loud, crazy person that I am now is who I am all the time. Even with my high school students now, even back then, I've always worked with students that are overaged. So it's always been accelerated school. So these are kids that are like in their 20s. And I literally would talk to them the way that I am on here, like, girl, you look good. And like, if they would tell me I'm having troubles with boys, I'm like, don't let anybody talk down to you. You should be respected. The way that I talk to people on the screen is the same way I've always been. But it was a persona. Because then I would go home and I would cry myself to sleep. I hated the person I saw in the mirror. I mean, hated. Charlotte says even in high school, I was the same. I've always been this loud, proud, crazy person. But you use that as your weapon. You use it as your way of kind of like combating what you're going through. I'm going to act like I'm cool and act like I'm okay. But Carmen, you were not alone. There's so many times when I thought he's going to kill me anyway. I might as well just kill myself. People don't realize that. And sometimes that's hard to hear, right? Like as women, it's hard to hear that from other women. And like when my defense mechanism, exactly. When we meet people and I tell them these stories, they're like, you're so bubbly. And I'm like, yeah. And that's what I used as my defense mechanism. I didn't want anybody to know what I was going through. So I would act goofy and laugh. But when I went home, I constantly thought about overdosing on pills or slicing my wrist. It wasn't until I had my daughter that I felt like, okay, I have a purpose now. And I can't do that. I need to live for her. I need to be able to do more, get myself out of this because I need to do for her. So I get that your sons were such a strong reason for you. And you stayed for a long time. And I'm sure a lot of that had to do with having your kids. Because we think that sometimes staying is what's better so that our kids see that.
Yeah.
Do you have some words for Carmen?
Yeah. So I want to hear at least two more regarding pain. Like I want to hear something that you kind of struggled with that kind of helped you get out of it. Do you have something like that? I want to hear that. I think the audience wants to hear
because we
that
are
too.
expressing ourselves. So express yourself.
Let me see.
So I can actually read the poem that Christina was talking about if you guys like.
Yeah, go for it.
Yes.
And then I have another one that I can read as well. This one is called Attacked. When the attacks get stronger and deeper, the mind reacts with stress and overwhelming pressure. It's never enough to cling to a string, never enough to cry uncontrollably. Pain is worth the hurt, tears is worth the shedding, for the end result is better. My mind spins as troubles come, appearing to never do the right thing at all. I feel the pressure of life's story unfolding, causing me to break. I receive the static from every corner, north, south, east, and west. Every passing moment causes me to flinch, not knowing what would happen next. I smile and keep my hurts and pains hidden so as to not to unlock my feelings and let anyone in. I smile for fear of disappointment. I smile for lack of control. I don't want anyone to know that this pain is too much to carry on my own. I try to keep myself busy best I can so as not to think about the chaos at hand. A moment to sit is a moment of hurt, which brings the emotions flowing fast as can be. Is anyone there? Can you figure me out? I am really dying inside, really empty. I don't desire this path of routine. I really regret my past experience. I realize I am not perfect, just trying to make it the best I can. Excuse me for a moment, for it seems my life is at pause. Reflection of pain, I reach out, no one to hold. I know I'm something to someone, just don't really know exactly the details at all. My life's a mystery, getting away from it all. A new, a fresh, I just desire to be. To be brand new and better for no one but me. I am no punk, no wimp at all. My struggles will one day pass, and into the light I will stand. Tougher than ever, a warrior in fact. Ready for combat, ready to last. I am precious, you see, too important to pass. To cling to life like nobody's business. This too shall pass. My mind will be made anew. One moment will cause the entire pain to lose. I will climb and crawl. I will fight with my all, knowing that one day my life will be worth it all.
Woohoo!
I know that's right. Yes.
Marilyn says, "Oh my God, I have chills through my body as I
Yes.
relate to your words."
You see?
Charlotte just ordered your book.
Oh, thank
For the
you.
audience want to hear, they wanted to hear your voice. They wanted to hear these words of that pain that you went through. We want to hear that so then we can feel it, what you felt. And I felt it very deep. And look at the audience. Look at them. They're commenting. They're loving it.
Yes.
You see? They
Look
want
at
to
all
hear
those
that.
hello parts, girl.
There you go.
Let me
That's
tell you
amazing.
something. I read that poem sitting on my sofa, right? And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. You just read it. And I was like, damn.
It's a difference.
Because there's a difference when you feel it from the person, especially the person who wrote it.
Exactly.
The person who feels it. Carmen, that was amazing.
Thank you.
I'm just going to call you and you're just going to read them each to me. So I'm going to read the whole thing again. Just Ray Valette says you gave that poem life.
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Listen, so mañana I'm going to call you and you just read me each poem one by one. Ja?
That sounds good.
And then when you're done, I'm
Let's do it.
gonna call her right after you.
And then Gigi that was amazing.
Yes.
Listen, I love to do Express Yourself. And we named it that because we feel as though our audience always gets on here and they're constantly giving comments. And you're one of those people, you and Gigi, who avidly sit there and you give comments and you know, me rizo los pelos, our hair stood up for those who needed a translation. you guys are always avid followers, and you get on here and you're constantly like hyping up the audience. I mean, the people who are on, and I'm like, actually it was Ray, my producer, who came up with the idea. Like, we should have a show once a month where it's express yourself and let the audience be on. Let the audience choose what they're going to talk about. We don't choose the topic. Let them choose it. So I love that you two ladies are on, because Carmen, that was amazing, but nobody would know that, right? If you were just in the audience looking, nobody would know that you have a poem, book full of poems that's going to like light us all on fire. Yeah. So I'm glad that you're here. When we come back from our next video, we're going to talk about how domestic violence has been a part of all of our lives and how we have risen from that. So a reminder to everyone who is watching, we are here for our calls and always will be. If you are dealing with some form of domestic violence, you see someone who's dealing with domestic violence, a loved one, a family member, a friend, someone that you know is expecting something that's just terrible, reach out to the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233. You can also reach out to us at loveshouldnothurt.com and all of our social media platforms. So I constantly remind folks by telling them that they're amazing, they're phenomenal, they're wonderful, right? But I've made it a point now to find just videos that'll tell you that, right? Because you don't want me on here like singing to you guys, even though I can sing. I can sing though, but I might not sound so good on video. So, so I found videos to make you guys feel good. So you ladies are amazing and you're warriors. So here is a video that I dedicate to you two beautiful ladies and everybody who's watching in the audience. It's called You Are Enough.
You are beautiful. You are smart. You are funny. You are kind. You are unique. You are worthy of love and affection. You are never too much, and you are always enough. You are precious. You are a diamond, a rose, a pearl, the most stunning of all God's creation. You are worth more than you could ever imagine. Worth more than the numbers on the scale, or the hair product you use, or the shoes you wear. More than how many girls wish they were you, or how many guys wish they had you. More than the price tags on your clothes, or the percentage at the top of your math test, or even the number of followers you have on Twitter. Your worth surpasses all earthly things, because in the eyes of the Lord God, you are loved, and you are worth dying for. Regardless of who you think you are. Whether you model in a magazine, or you model pottery with grandma. Whether you're on the hot list or the not list. Whether you're head cheerleader or a high school dropout. Whether you're Miss Popular or you've never had anyone you could call a friend. Whether you love yourself and love your life, or you can't stand to look in the mirror and you feel as if everything in your life is falling apart. Whether you're such a winner or you feel like the world's biggest failure, regardless of who you think you are. The reality is that you deserve someone who would give up their life for you, because you are powerful and strong and capable. Read about the women in the Bible: Esther, Ruth, Martha, Mary. These women changed the world forever. And inside of you, each and every one of you is a woman with that same power and that same strength and that same world-changing capability. And your responsibility is to find that woman and to set that woman free. This is who you are. And any voices in your mind that try and tell you differently are from the enemy. And the next time you hear them, this is what you say. You say, "Nuh-uh, not me, Satan. I am a daughter of the living God, cherished, loved, and adored above all things by the Creator of all things, for the glory of Him who is greater than all things. I am awesome." And please, don't you forget it.
Guess what?
So I wasn't prepared for that.
There you go. You are loved. Let me tell you something.
Oh, wow.
As someone who spent so many years of her life, I don't want to cry because I cry all the time. But as someone who spent so many of years of her life, her childhood, because I could say that I'm a whole lot different than I was back then. But for someone who spent so many years of my life, my childhood, my adolescence, my teenage years, even my 20s, feeling like I wasn't worthy or loved, feeling like I wasn't pretty enough or beautiful enough. There go the tears. I'm a bull, I cry all the time. It gives me so much pleasure to watch you two in the green room, wiping your tears, and that video touching you. And it gives me even more pleasure that every single week you ladies are in the audience, like these people who are watching. And you're always sitting motivating folks and saying positive things to folks. But it gives me so much pleasure to see that I can do this for people. I'm not God. I'm nobody special. I have tons of faults. But to be able to be here weekly and know that I have spent so much time not feeling like a great person and knowing that I can make you ladies feel great gives me so much satisfaction every week. I love that you guys are here, and I love that you shared some of your story, and I'm loving even more that video empowered you both. I saw you both wiping your tears, and me and the producer are texting each other like, do you see? Because you ladies spent so much time with nobody telling you that you were worthy, nobody telling you that you were beautiful and that you were enough. And you know what? You are. And I'm so happy that you guys finally know that and that you see it for yourself. Carmen, I'm glad that you found someone who shows you that love that you damn well deserve. And I know Gigi's going to find that one day too.
I hope so.
She took that walk. She left that terrible relationship and she's doing another amazing thing, which is taking care of her 4 beautiful daughters. Because I always tell people all the time when they say, oh, but if you leave a relationship and you're going to be single, so what? The best relationship you can have is the one that you have with yourself.
Absolutely.
Because you are phenomenal, phenomenal women. You both are very beautiful women. You're doing phenomenal, phenomenal things. Before we close out, we're at 43 minutes, and in a couple minutes, I'm going to let you ladies have a moment on the screen by yourself. So don't be scared when you're there by yourself. The show, so you know everybody has their closing thoughts. Before we do that, I want you each to give me a task. I'm sorry, I'm going to give you each a task. I messed up a side. I want to give you ladies a task. Last week we had a women's group. Gigi was a part of it. And we sat with the author of the book that we were talking about, the last one, Embracing You by April Hernandez. And she gave us one. There you go.
Always with me.
The task for all of us was if we had to write a book, and I know that you did already, Carmen, but if you were writing a book about your life and your experiences and things that just have empowered you, if you had to sit down and put pen to paper today, what would the name of your book be? What would it be if you had to sum up your entire life from then to now? What would that be?
Oh, I already made it.
What would the name of your book be?
The Power of Letting Go.
Amazing. Amazing.
A bondage brought to life.
Mm.
Good stuff. I love it. Mine is and always will be that my pain has brought me purpose.
Wow.
And I think that that's something that we all could learn from. We all could learn from our pain. You know, I've had negativity spewed at me for what it is that I do. I've had positivity thrown at me as well. You know, it's a give and take for everything. But I think we all have to find purpose in everything that we do, whether it's from our pain, if it's from the children, if it's from a job well done because we go to work and we did something great. We have to find purpose in it. And I love that my audience has the ability to come on when they want and just share it. You know, you ladies both have been an awesome part of my audience. So I'm glad that you guys were able to come on here tonight and just give us a part of who you are. Gigi, thank you for coming and just sitting outside today. So it is 45 minutes in. So what I want to do now is it is express yourself, correct? That's what this show is. So each of you, oh, look at that. All right. Before we do that, Ray wants to give us one more, and I'm okay with that. So give us one more poem so that you can fill our audience with what it is.
Yes, please.
This one is it's a little shorter, but it's called Steel. It's a fight every day, it seems. A fight to breathe, a fight to live, a fight to conquer freedom, aggression. I have my share. I no longer desire aggression, for it frightens me. I only ask for happiness for once in my life, to be able to experience peace. Aggression is too much for me to handle, for all around me, storms are rising. I thought for a moment it would be okay, silly me, to think that I would be able to sleep away the pain. Another night without sleep, for I cannot bear the pain I feel. It is a shame what this creates. Pain for me, pain for others. It's been too good to be true. My guard was down, vulnerable to all. If anything, I refused to share my pain, for the hurt inside me was like no other. I don't want aggression. All I wanted was to live. I don't want aggression. It's too much to keep. Fear crept in. I am determined to shake it off. The reality is, the fear to trust has overtaken me.
I forgot I was muted. That happens. You are amazing. And that is so inspirational to all of us who are watching to be able to put the heartfelt feelings on paper. So thank you so much, Carmen, for doing that and just being a part of tonight's show and expressing yourself and being very transparent as well. Because I think that it's super difficult, especially look at that, you got somebody else ordering Marilyn. Super empowering for women to just know, that they're not alone and that this is not just something that you felt or Gigi felt, I felt, but all of us as women go through so many difficult times, and it's just so amazing to continue to see women who are doing awesome things. So, as I was saying before, I'm going to go off screen and give each of you a moment to express yourself. Closing thoughts on what you feel about anything, about why you wrote the book, anything at all. It's your closing thoughts, and I want you to express yourself the best way that you can. Since you are our guest, Carmen, we'll let you go first. We're going to go off screen. Don't be nervous.
Okay. I love Shed and Hurt. When I first met Christina, it was at the Love Affair, the gala. And when I heard her story, it hit home to me because I never shared my story ever. And I said to myself, when I first seen that there was Love Shouldn't Hurt, I'm going to follow this every time it comes on until I can't follow it anymore. And it touched me in more than one way because I had never opened up about what I went through. And this was back in 2018, I believe the gala was. I never opened up until I heard Christina's story. And I said, you know what? It's going to help me to heal by talking about, what I went through. Because for so long, I just kept it inside. I had become so cold that I didn't feel anything. I couldn't feel anything because I was just so cold. And I just knew that by masking everything, that's how I lived. That's how I survived. That's how I made it every day. And I thank God that I'm here. I thank God, for my sons. I thank God for the man that's in my life, because if it wasn't from, I call him my angel, because if it wasn't for him, I don't think I would be here. Because prior to meeting him, I didn't think I was worthy of, I didn't think I was worthy of anything. Love, to be treated like I meant something. I just I just thought that my life was just wasting away. But he's given me a new meaning of life and happiness and what it means to love and feel love and to live every day with a smile on my face. Um, it's a different chapter in my life that I'm happy to experience. I'm excited to experience, and it gives me peace because he's become my safe haven. And it may not make sense to you guys, but it's just a sense of peace that I have just hearing his voice, just every day speaking to him or seeing him, and just I'm glad I'm here and the support that I'm receiving from him, the support that I'm receiving, from my kids. They put together the book release. They spent so much time on it, and they were determined not to allow me to be stressed over it. So I'm just very grateful to experience what I'm experiencing, even though I'm 41 and I should have experienced it, you know, on my younger days. But I'm grateful to be experiencing it now. So thank you for this opportunity. I love shitting her. I mean, it's a beautiful show. It's a beautiful podcast. I wish every woman would join, every man would join. Um, so thank you, everyone, and Amazon, Barnes and Noble, or if you want a signed copy, you can DM me, and I'll ship you out a copy, signed copy as well.
Woo-hoo-hoo! Thank you so much. Thank you for your kind words, because I appreciate it. I really do. But thank you so much for being such an amazing audience person. I mean, every time you're on, you're just so wonderful. Like, you comment and comment and comment and comment, and you always are hyping up our guests, and making them feel very loved. So I'm glad that tonight it was your turn. I'm glad you had the opportunity to come on and see all of the amazing comments and all the love that people are giving to you. I'm glad you had that opportunity to feel that. And listen, you said that you're feeling that love now that you wish you felt a long time ago. It is never too late to feel that love. And I think that God knew when you needed it best, and he's giving it to you now in the best parts of your life. You have your book, you have your sons who are beside you, you have your sisters, because I know you got a lot of them. And you have this person who is giving you love every day, and you deserve it because of each of those videos. Like they said, you are beautiful and you are enough. So I'm glad that you were here tonight, Carmen. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. We're going to send you to the green room, but you will be back so that we can say goodbye. Let's bring Gigi back. Mi amor.
Hi. I'm just over here wiping my tears. My makeup is ruined. It's fine.
So listen, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you being so humble and so awesome since the day that I've met. As I stated to Carmen, I love that every week you're on and you're giving people love. So today is your turn to get some of that love. So I'm going to go to the back. He's going to send me away so that you have a moment to express yourself.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. So sorry about my tears and stuff like that, but I'm very emotional. But first and foremost, I would definitely like to thank God. I want to thank God for actually giving me another chance of life. And definitely, from my abuse, I was literally 10 seconds from dying. Okay. So when I was in that hospital bed, the doctor literally told me, "You are so lucky you are here." And all I can do was just look up to the man above and say, "Thank you so much for giving me that other chance." And I took advantage of that chance and I left. And this is my chance to gain that love back again from my daughters. And also, I'm getting to know myself and loving myself again. And the biggest thing and the biggest decision that I've ever made, and the best decision I've ever made, is to give myself to God. And I was afraid of doing that, only because I thought that, a man can give me love, a man can give me this and give me that. And that wasn't the case. A man can give you love, but the best love that you could ever receive is from God. And I realize that now. It's sad to say that I had to go through all the abuse and, verbally, emotionally, physically, and mainly mentally. But it put me where I am today. And again, I have a lot of work to do on myself and with my daughters. And again, I'm always going to thank God, and I'm really giving my whole heart to Him, my whole life to Him, my soul, everything. I'm leaving everything in God's hands, and that is the best decision I'm making right now. Would it be nice to have a man in my life? Yes, but at this moment, the only man that I really want is God right now. And I'm just fixing myself. And the other people that I actually want to thank as well is I want to thank Felicia that actually introduced me to Jasmine. And I also want to thank Jasmine, which is like a little chain reaction that I love so much. So it goes from Felicia to Jasmine. And from Jasmine, the most amazing woman is Christina. And that's why I'm here today. So again, I just want to thank everyone that's been supporting me and giving me so much love of all the, fitness videos and all the moments that I share with my daughters. I thank you guys all so much, and I appreciate all the love, the support, and everything that you guys, have been providing for me throughout this whole struggle that I've been going through. But I just want to also let those that are still going through the situation and you don't want to tell anybody. I was in your position and I totally understand, but that fear to have of not letting go, and man, if I leave, I'm gonna lose this. If I leave, I'm gonna lose that, or I'm gonna lose him. What you're gonna lose is your life. There's a possibility you can lose your life, and you don't want that because there's so many people out there that love you. Like my daughters, they love me, and if I would have just took my life or allowed this person to take my life, my daughters wouldn't have a mother right now. So it's best that you leave. It's best that you leave and you love yourself and be with the ones that you love. Those are the ones that's going to love you and be there for you. Through your hard times, it's going to be hard. It is, but it's going to get better. Those bad times are going to turn into good times, better memories, and better moments for yourself, because you're going to find yourself and you're going to love yourself. And that's the best feeling in the world. It's truly the best feeling. And you're always going to have support out here and people that love you and care about you. And you're always going to know that is going to come to you when you let all that toxic energy and all that toxic, interactions of what's going on in your life. All these good things are going to come to you and you're going to feel it. And you're going to be so content and so happy. And all the things that you were trying to do that held you back, let all that go so all those good things can come to you. I promise you that. So I just want to close this up, and I just want to say thank you again for everybody that's been supporting me and loving the videos that I've been doing with my daughters and all this, amazing moments that I've been having. And Christina, I just want to thank you so much for everything that you have done and have me a part of. And you are stuck with me, woman. You are definitely stuck with me.
You sound like me. I tell people all the time, like, stuck with me for life. Yes. You are so welcome. I wish you hadn't stopped thanking me, because I don't do it for praise or any of the above. I really just think that all of us needed someone who was positive, who was just influential. And not that I'm praising myself, but I think that we all just needed someone to remind us that all of those bullies, that's what I call them, who were out in the world and made us feel like we weren't enough. We needed another woman to snap us out of that and say, yes, you are. You are the bomb. Yeah. You're beautiful and you are enough. And not enough of us say that to one another. I think we need to empower each other more than knock each other down. A lot of times that's what we do as women. We look at social media, and social media gives us such a fake view of each other. We see women with perfect bodies, so we believe. We see women with prettier faces, so we believe. And it's all just a mask. Nobody's going to show the ugly things, right? You're not going to go on social media and take a picture with your makeup running down your face or with tears in your eyes. All you're going to post on there are when you look good, you got your hair done, you got your lashes done. But nobody knows what anybody carries, the burdens that they carry. And that's why I'm constantly trying to get on there and put positive things up, because something I may put one day might make you smile if you're having a really bad day. So Gigi, thank you so much for being here again, my love. Thank you.
Thank you.
This evening, again, it is about our audience, and you are always a great audience member. So I was thrilled to have you on. We're going to send you to the back. I'll be back to get you again. I'm going to give my closing thoughts for tonight. Well, people, thank you once again for sitting with us through this hour and just journeying with us with positivity and just phenomenal, phenomenal women. I feel like I'm super duper blessed because every time I do this show every week, I get to bring on phenomenal people. I'm always worried every week, no matter how prepared we are, every week I'm concerned. What if I don't say the right thing? What if this person is like, I don't want to talk anymore? What if they don't show up? Then what do I do? And it's just my anxiety and my nerves because you guys come on and you rock it every single time. My guests are always phenomenal, phenomenal people. And I think to myself, how could anybody have told you that you like are like anything more than the bomb? Because I see you on screen and I'm like, they're the bomb. What is going on? So I am glad and I am super happy that I am able to remind you guys constantly that you are. Express Yourself is a show that we love to do because our audience, you see all you women on here commenting, join me on the screen the next time so that you can be highlighted as well. I think that it's important for us to not choose a topic and just get on here and highlight the folks and let people express themselves. I love my audience. You guys are amazing. You're super, super loving and you just give me life. When my cup is half empty, you fill it every single week. So thank you guys for being so phenomenal. Listen, as Carmen said, vete ahora to Amazon, go to Barnes & Noble, cualquiera de las dos, or find Carmen Gonzalez on Facebook, inbox her, cash app her, whatever you got to do, and buy her book. Because there you go. We want her to get all of the praise, love, and adoration that she deserves tonight. She is a phenomenal audience member, and we want to keep highlighting her. So go buy this book. You see, vete. Go buy the book. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Let's bring our ladies back so we can say goodbye as a group. Mujeres, you are amazing. You are phenomenal and beautiful. Thank you for joining me tonight. I love you all. Everybody, thanks for watching. Good night, people. See you next time.
Good night.
Good night, everyone. Thank you.